Back here on Radio Row, inside the Mall of America, Super Bowl 52 between the New England Patriots and your Philadelphia Eagles. It's Zach Gelb right here on Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. Now joining us is former NFL safety Husain Abdullah, who of course played a few years with the Minnesota Vikings and then ended his career with the Kansas City Chiefs. Husain, appreciate the time. Thank you so much, and how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here on Radio Row here at the Super Bowl, so I'm excited.
You had a really special career, and obviously you had a lot of concussions and suffered a lot of concussions, and that's such a big topic of conversation now is player safety, because when fans are watching the game, they're rooting for you, they want to see the team win, but then when you retire, people forget, oh, this guy still has to go on and has to live through life. So I know you're here today with PureSportsRecovery.com. Tell me a little bit about them, and tell me about your story and your early retirement as well.
Okay, so I think we'll start there. So, I had 5 concussions during my NFL career, and number 5 was the one where I was like, okay, I think it's time to shut it down. So afterwards, I wanted to be proactive in my brain health care, and I wanted to search for the best solution, one that was holistic, one where I wasn't going to feel like a lab rat, because there's so many different people saying we do this and we do this, and I found PureSportsRecovery.com, and I've just enjoyed it. They have this thing called neurofeedback, where it's really like it assists the brain to help rewire itself. And then the way you eat, the way you live, the way you exercise, everything is just centered around the person being whole again. And, for me, I'm being proactive in my brain health care. But for some guys, they try to fight the fight alone, which leads them to isolation and depression. And those are the guys who, over the past year, I've really been working to try to find who they are and then go and get them and say, hey, man, you're my brother. We got to go get you help.
I was talking about this with Jermichael Finley yesterday, who's also working with Pure Sports Recovery. And the big thing we were talking about is how when you're playing, you're young, you're getting the money, you're going to the best restaurants, you're a big-time celebrity, you're dominating on the field. You're not thinking about life after football. So if you could speak to players now and talk to them about what they should be doing now when they're playing, what's your message? Because you need to think about what you're going to do after you retire, because it does end one day.
Yeah, it's it's tough. The players definitely have to look at life after football, but unfortunately everything is geared towards now, right now. The NFL is right now. What have you done for me lately? You forget about what happened before, you don't look in the future. So when you're in that mindset, it's hard to say, hey, I need to think about my health after football, because if that was the case, how many people would go out there and play with intensity that they do at, right? So for players right now, I think the best thing is to just your lifestyle. Really take a holistic lifestyle approach. Make sure you're putting good stuff in your system. Make sure you're taking care of your body. Making sure you are using proper techniques. I don't think you'll ever be able to remove it from the game. You got 2 human beings who have built themselves all off season to run full speed and collide into one another. So I don't think concussions will ever completely be removed from the game. But there are different things that you can do to make sure your healing process is sped up.
When you're on the couch and you're watching the Steelers game this year and what happened to Ryan Shazier, just what goes through your head when you're seeing that?
Oh man, very first thing you do is you pray for him. That's the very first thing that you do, and it really does kind of hit me in the heart, and I think it did with a lot of people, because when you look at it, it was just a routine tackle. It wasn't like a train wreck. It wasn't anything like that, and how many of those have we've all been in? Even kids in Pop Warner, and you just say that could have been me. You know what I mean? And then you really start to look at how serious this is, how fortunate we are, and that it is a game, but also it's a game that can have some life-altering consequences. And, again, Pure Sports Recovery, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure we can heal people so after they get done playing the game, they can still have a healthy life.
You retired after the 2016 season. How old were you?
I was 29 going into 30.
So some people could say that's a little bit young to retire, but when you suffer 5 concussions, it's right to get out of the game at that time. And for you, it's still a tough battle, because you could have still made money in this league for a long time. And even Jermichael was saying yesterday, you keep on going because you get that envelope in your locker and you appreciate that check. You like getting that income. Take me through your decision to walk away and how you had to battle, okay, I'm still on the younger side. I still want to keep on doing this probably.
Yeah, I think for me, my decision actually came back in 2011 when I had like 4 concussions in 15 months when I was here in Minnesota. And that led to a year of discovery. In 2012, I took the year off from football. I went on my Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca. Did a lot of different things, philanthropic work with my brother, going around the country and speaking. So when I came back in 2013, I had already known if I get another one, because I still wanted to play. I love the game. But if I get another one, it's going to be time to call it, especially after seeing what happened to older guys. And for me, the one that really deeply affected me was Junior Seau. May God have mercy on him. So when number 5 came at the end of the 2015, I kind of knew at that point that although I did want to keep on playing, I do have to start looking at long-term health care and life. I have a wife. I have 4 children. And I really want to be there for them, and I also want to be there for society at large. There's a lot of things going on in our society, and I think football players, because we're team-oriented, because we've been able to achieve so much, I really think that a healthy guy, one who's mentally there, they can really help different places around society, and we can help uplift society, if you will. And that's why I'm really on a mission to keep myself healthy, but then also any player as well.
For safeties, we're talking to Husain Abdullah right now on Radio Row. It's the Zach Gelb Show. If you go for the head, we know that's frowned upon now, and you're considered a dirty player. Mm-hmm. But if you go for the legs as well, you're also considered a dirty player. So for your position as safety, how do you approach it? Because there have been plays, and I've seen corners talk about it. How else do you want me to hit a guy?
Yeah, it's like if you go in and if you're a boxer and you tell a guy you can only punch a guy in the chest, right? So then it disables all of your tools and all of your techniques, and actually it makes you more hesitant. It makes you more vulnerable, and you can't play fast. And unfortunately, that could be someone's career because, hey, I don't want to injure a guy or I don't want to get fined, and you hesitate, and then boom, now something negative happens.
We always know this is a violent game. When you get into this game, people know it's a violent game.
Yep.
How does the NFL separate the two of protecting players but also not ruining the fact that this is a violent game because there's some things you just can't control with it?
Yeah, that's some honest conversations have to be had on the player side and on the league side because at the end of the day, it's a conflict of interest. You want the best product on the field, but at the same time, you're saying you want player health, but you don't want this, but you don't want that. So you got to have some very honest conversations, and there has to be a lot of dialogue surrounding that. So, I think that's where it starts.
Describe to me what it was like to play for Andy Reid.
It was fun. I actually I miss being able to see Coach Reid and a bunch of other of those coaches on a daily basis. I really enjoyed walking into that locker room and what they had to say or the comments during practice. He's a great leader.
The thing with Andy, and we know him very well being in the Philadelphia, South Jersey area, the guy gets there every year.
Yep.
He gets to the playoffs every year. But in the playoffs, it seems like something's different with Coach Reid. This year, Travis Kelce, terrible injury. Second half, they only get the ball to Kareem 4 or 5 times, and he led the league in rushing this year. That's what I don't get about Andy, what happens from regular season to the postseason.
Yeah, there's every human being, regardless of what you're talking about, there's something, right? There's some kind of adversity that you have to overcome. And if that's what's Coach Reid's, then that's what it is. But we all have something, and of course, I would have liked to win one as a player, but I would love to see him overcome that adversity. So this is not so his story doesn't end like this in coaching because he's an awesome human being, he's an awesome leader, and he deserves to have that title. So I hope he gets it soon.
Your reaction to the Alex Smith trade yesterday?
That's business. I mean, I love Alex. Alex is great, but when you draft a guy in the first round,
writing's on the wall.
It's going to happen at some point. So it's like, Alex is a pro's pro. Yeah, it's business.
As we're talking to Husain Abdullah, wrapping up with him, once again, he's here for puresportsrecovery.com. Contact Pure for a free brain health consult today. This game coming up on Sunday, when you break it down, what do you think this game comes down to?
Oh, man, I haven't broken down anything. I'm going to be a straight fan on this one.
Yeah.
At this point, there are a lot of the coaches that were on the staff in KC. They're now on the staff in Philly, especially Dino Vasso. He was in the DB room, so I'm pulling for D. But then you look on the other side, it's like they're a machine, man. It's like at some point you really just got to sit back and appreciate greatness. And with the things that they're doing, of course, with Brady, it's like, I mean, you just sit back and just like, I can't wait till Sunday.
I think one of the great success stories in sports this year has been Doug Peterson. I know he was on the other side of the ball, but he didn't start calling plays for you guys in Kansas City until the second half of that season when you guys started to go on that run. Feeling Philly, when Doug got here, a lot of people are saying, here we go, another Andy Reid disciple. It's the same old, same old. People were critical. It doesn't have the experience. Last year, 7-9, which was a good year for a team that was very young with a new coach and also a new quarterback. But this year, he's done a tremendous job coaching in Doug.
Yeah. It's great to see people overcome whatever adversity it is. Like, I get a kick out of it because I just love seeing people achieve success. And again, Doug was also he was a great person. Always a smile on his face, always upbeat. And to see him having the success that he's having is just like, I mean, you hope the best for him.
Before we let you run, puresportsrecovery.com, this is the important stuff. I know everyone has a product on Radio Row to promote, but this is really important because it's about the safety of the people that we love watching this game, and you guys need a lot of help, and I hope you guys get the help. So just update me a little bit about how you're feeling now and also the work you're doing once again with Pure Sports Recovery in closing.
Okay, great. So last year I committed, to my own brain health, and I went down to Pure for a good month and just really went through the process. And since I've been doing great, I've been doing awesome. Every now and again when I slip into one of those moments, because it just comes, there's no warning sign, then I'll just go down there for what I like to call like a tune-up. I go down there for 3 or 4 days, go through the process, and then I'm back. And one thing that's unique about Pure is it's not only for former NFL players. There have been athletes from the NCAA. There have been military. There have been people who just are addicted to opioids, or people who have different pains, or someone who got in a motorcycle crash. So if anyone's struggling with mental health or addiction, we really just want the best for you. And if you go to puresportsrecovery.com, I really do believe that you'll love what you find there.
Before we let you run, years ago when someone would suffer concussion, they go, you feel all right? Yeah, boom, right back in the game.
Right.
Obviously, a lot has changed since. Since you've been in the concussion protocol, explain to me that process a little bit more.
Oh, man. It's gotten a lot better. I think 2011 when I had 4 of them, questions were silly, and it's like a kid can answer it. And no, I don't think anybody really took it serious on the player side, and also again the conflict of interest on the team side is they want you to be back out there on the field. But now they are doing a lot better. They do have more of a judgment call where you look at a guy and be like, no, he doesn't look the same from how he was yesterday or an hour ago. So they're doing a lot better, but there's still a lot more to be done.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Once again, it's puresportsrecovery.com. Husain Abdullah, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.